Um, There's no road association at all for Logan Circle.
People didn't want to do it because if they don't pay, they get liened on their property. That's their attitude, was they weren't going to join it, not to create a association.
To go kind of where Mike is saying, there is a provision that talks about if there is a road association that is contributing to the upkeep of a private road that leads into what's considered a great pond, and a great pond is considered anything that's over 10 acres. There has to be some issues deemed by DEP that puts the property at risk. Then there is a possibility of some assistance with public funds, but there's a very specific criteria that you have to meet, and DEP is the place to start to get that to happen. But it is very specific in the statute that there has to be a road association that is contributing funds towards the property. So you've got, there's an option there, but you have to organize and have a road association and get DEP involved.
Regarding the road association, I know that I've spoken to some people down there, and one of the problems that you have is the conflict between your seasonal, or the snowbirds as you call them, and people that live there year-round. You've got the people year-round really don't mind sometimes having an association because they have an interest in keeping the thing open. But the snowbirds say, hey, I only come up here in the summer anyway. What do I care what happens in the winter? So they don't want to pay any dues or become involved in it. So you kind of got to...
I would imagine, though, that road associations could be pretty flexible as to how they're developed. That they don't, as far as the amount of money that each person puts into it, or how it's collected. So, you know, I don't think there's probably a lot that restricts how the road association is formed. You know, so maybe your summer people are only 50% of the amount of time that they're there. Maybe they're charged that way, and maybe the charge is small enough so it's you develop the association to get the stuff that you want from DEP, but you're not spending $5,000 a family for the road association. It might be something like $100. You know, I would say you could look into that, because you might be able to develop a road association that doesn't that might get the alternative, or rather not the alternative, but the some of the things you're looking for without putting up a lot of money. It may cost a little bit legal fees in order to develop the association. You've got a lawyer that lives down there.
Is there anyone who would... Yes, Mr. Lozier.
I'd like to speak last. I don't know if there's anyone from Logan Circle who would like to speak before me. I'd like to kind of give the closing statements.
Is there anyone who would care to speak before Mr. Lozier? Okay, seeing none, you have the floor, sir.
I don't think I need to introduce myself. You would all well know me. I'm Roger Lozier.
If you wouldn't mind coming up to the mic.
24 Weber Road, but also own property on Logan Circle. I have a financial investment in a small subdivision that I created last year, approved by the town, and I won't get into all those details. I think I had a lot to discuss tonight that I'm just going to, from my end, just table some of the items that I wanted to discuss, but bring out some important facts that I think will summarize some of the issues that have already been mentioned by some of the people here tonight. I'll go back as far as 8 years ago when I moved into Waterboro. There was an issue on my property, a water issue, and I guess it was a fortunate thing that when I moved in, we happened to have, not long after I moved in, we happened to have what they call a 100-year storm. And it was just about the time when the Ospey Lake Association was doing an assessment of all the properties along the lake kind of reviewing and investigating the potentials of washouts, wash-ins into the lake, if that's what you want to call them. And like I say, it was a fortunate thing that at the time that that assessment was being made, we had a 100-year storm. I took pictures, I documented what was happening on my property as a result of water coming off Weber Road, unmanaged water coming off Weber Road, down my driveway, alongside my garage, and proceeded down into the lake. I took photographs, and during that storm I had water up to my knees. And some of those pictures I think I had submitted to Pam LaRue, who at the time was, I think, president of the association or whatever. I came to the town and asked for some kind of assistance or a remedial situation to take care of this problem, because the water originated on Weber Road and eventually ended up in our natural resource, our most valuable resource in Waterboro. Since we're a recreational town, the lake is used for boating and so forth and so forth. I won't get into that. At the time, I think Mr. Foglio was the road commissioner. I contacted Doug. Doug grabbed the situation by the tail, and make a long story short, a small catch basin on one side of my driveway was installed, a culvert under my driveway into a storm drain that would collect the waters after a rain, or some of the waters after a rainstorm, and redirect that water down Weber Road, cross Weber Road, and eventually end up in a wetlands between Weber Road and Townhouse Road. The issue, the remedy took care of part of the problem. We still have a problem in a heavy rainstorm, and in preparation for this last rainstorm or potential hurricane, I used bales of hay on my property. In the event that there was a rush of water, it would prevent and manage the water from carrying debris and pollutants, especially off Weber Road into Ossipee Lake. I took that upon myself because of my love, and for Ossipee, I'm a year-round resident. I chose to come here to enjoy Waterboro and its benefits in my retirement. Using that as an example, I think the culverts that the invisible Mr. Fay mentioned, I think is one of the issues that has to be addressed. I think there are many issues that we'd like to see addressed that I think are beyond what we can discuss tonight and find a remedy. As much as most of us would like a quick solution to some of the issues that have been mentioned here tonight, some of the things that we'd like taken care of, I think my greatest, I have many issues to address, but I think my primary request tonight would be to, as the item on the agenda states, discuss and vote on grading Logan Circle. I think the issue on Logan Circle goes beyond grading. I think grading would be great. We would greatly accept that, if you want to say, gratuity. I could discuss that and defend that I'm not really looking for a gratuity, because I'm one of the few people who spend their tax dollars to the tune of about $150,000 that you get in revenue from Logan Circle. Yes, the grading problem, the grading is an issue, but I think, not, no pun intended, but there are more underlying issues on Logan Circle. As Mr. Bouthelette mentioned, culverts that have to be changed. They're outdated. They've been collapsed in storms. They've been band-aided for many years. Having lived here for 8 years, I I've observed, having been active in a couple boards in this community, I've observed many areas and where situations requiring urgent attention and remedy has been band-aided. Having been in a construction business for 40 years, one of the expressions that we use, you don't pay up front, you pay in the end. And I think we've gotten to a point in Logan Circle where there have been enough remedies, irregardless whether it's the town's responsibility or private individuals in the form of an association's responsibility. I think we can join efforts. I'm going to conclude. I think we can join efforts in getting together with the town. And again, I think I've already mentioned there are so many details and so many possibilities here, so many entities that could contribute, such as the DEP, probably organizations or departments on a municipal level and a state level where we can get together, sit in in more of a forum than we can establish a little bit more than I think we can do tonight in 15, 20 minutes of discussion. I would request that you table the issue of grading tonight. And I would ask through the chair that we, hopefully all in agreement with the other residents, that we establish some kind of a date where we can have a workshop. Give us, the taxpayers and the residents of Logan Circle, give us enough time to be able to communicate with you and have you give us the potential possibilities and agencies that we can turn to and possibly invite to a workshop that we can sit in and discuss this. And also give us enough time, and I'm sure there are a lot more people that are not here tonight would love to be present to voice their opinions. I've spoken to a few people before tonight that are shut-ins, couldn't make it tonight. But if we could get opportune time to be able to get our so-called ducks in order before we come back to you and ask you for some kind of decision. I'm asking that we don't make a decision tonight, that we table the issue and request a date, if it's all agreeable with the rest of the residents that are here, schedule a workshop where we can come and civilly discuss this intellectually. I'm not usually one that comes here and keeps my cool, but I've been instructed by my wife that I'm the boss in my house, but I've got my wife's permission to say so. We attract bees with honey, and tonight my whole, I guess my heart changed after listening to some of these people and figured, you know, let's work together. And I think as a community who's looking for progress in this town, bumping heads gets us nowhere. I think sitting together as adults, human beings, civil-minded, work this out civilly, I think we can get a lot more accomplished. And without you folks, there's nothing we can do. You think your hands are tied, ours are too. And I think I'm a self-appointed, I guess, spokesman for the rest of the residents. We're just coming to you to see if we can find an amicable and a good solution to this without making any type of threats beyond solving this on a municipal level, because I think I won't even get into it because that might open up a whole can of worms. But I'm just asking you folks tonight, if possible, through the chair, that if we could table this and establish some kind of a workshop. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lozier. Is there anyone who has not had the opportunity to speak that would like to after Mr. Lozier's comments? Yeah, I'm not sure what value postponing a vote would do, because I think that the vote tonight is, in all probability, would be the same if we took it 6 weeks from now, unless there's a law change. That particular portion of it would probably remain the same, because we only really have one course to be able to follow in that. As to the workshop, I think that we can certainly look at that, having that take place, and maybe we can try to build a consensus with, because I think that when you go forward to DEP and the other environmental organizations, that if you at least have the backing of the Board of Selectmen, I think that that is probably just another feather in the war bonnet that you can display. Yes, John.
That being said, I agree with you. I would move, because I don't think we should just keep this hanging, because I think we clearly know what we have to do from state law, is I would deny the grading of Logan Circle. That would be my motion. As far as the workshop goes, I think we need to keep open in this. I think we just spent 45 minutes basically in a workshop right now, coming up with a whole bunch of basic ideas. And when someone comes up or gets some more specific requests or ideas in which the town can participate in that, we develop a workshop. And we keep open to that point. But we certainly, there's a lot of ideas that came out here, and maybe when we get the next step in those ideas, we can really put a workshop together. Because if the town can participate in some way, I think we definitely should. But as far as this, the grading issue, my motion is to deny.
So we have a motion on the floor to deny grading. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded not to grade Logan Circle. Is there any discussion, sir?
All right, my concern is.
If you'd be so kind as to come, please. Just so that it'll record properly.
My concern is the excess water that comes from the other side of the hill, that comes under the Weber Road, goes into that first culvert, goes underneath our road, goes down a drainage ditch, which dumps into the marsh, which when that gets filled, it comes back across the road. One of the culverts has been crushed, and it's filling up. Another one is too small, and the road is narrow, or not narrow, but it's low level as it is, and the water just runs over the road rather than through the culvert, and the culvert fills up with sand, and it doesn't do the job, and then the road gets washed out. My concern is that that's not our responsibility or our problem. We didn't create that drainage. Then there's another culvert that goes under Weber Road, which dumps into the same marsh in the valley between the two openings of Logan Circle. That excess water causes a lot of damage, and then when the road washes out, we can't handle that. It has washed out twice when we get heavy rains and thaw in the winter months. And it has washed out severely that they had to bring in truckloads. And the last time, we had to talk to people to get someone down there to look at it and then consider it. Then they brought in truckloads of gravel. Actually, sand and stones what came in. So that's my concern. I mean, that shouldn't be thrown on the people that live there for that excess water.
I appreciate your comment, sir. However, the issue before vote right now is to not grade Logan Circle. It has nothing to do with the issue of culverts or water runoff and so forth. That's an issue that would have to be taken up separately to this. Mr. Lozier, you had some discussion.
I guess the issue I had was not concerning the grading, but something else that I forgot to mention in my presentation, but since I'm not able to bring that up, then I will wait for hopefully
Okay, with respect to the grading of the road only, is there anyone else who would like to speak? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor of the motion? All those opposed? The motion is carried. Mr. Lozier, if you want to have it.
Thanks for considering tabling the issue. I guess we'll just have to live with the decision tonight and move forward with potential of a workshop.
Just so we're clear, the motion that was carried only had to do with the grading. It has nothing to do with the decision with, to have a workshop or to
Correct.
explore other avenues of culvert and water runoff, because like I say, we still have some things before the town attorney that we need clarification on. They're looking into whether or not the runoff from Weber Road is what they call normal sheet water, or whether or not there's a situation that may have been created or exacerbated by the town that would maybe, and this is a big maybe now, so I don't want anybody getting any, false expectations or hopes, but there's a maybe that public funds can be used to correct that portion, and if so, the board will certainly entertain that, but
I guess there's one thing I want clarified, and because this is being recorded, I'd like an answer from the board and your feelings. The gentleman mentioned there's approximately $150,000 of tax dollars that are collected. I have the tax assessment and the amount of tax that those properties are paying on Logan Circle. Approximately $150,000 of taxes. When I mentioned it to one of the Logan Circle residents, apparently he had brought up the issue in the past, and the answer to him was, it doesn't grant us any entitlement of benefits just because we pay taxes. I pay a great amount of tax on that on Logan Circle. Between my son and I, we have 3 parcels of land. And like I said, there's $150,000 of taxes that are being generated on those 41 properties. What? I know we don't have any entitlement, but what are we getting from the town for our tax dollars? Before you answer that question, a couple people have asked me, we're so upset about this that they said, we're not paying our taxes this year. I said, you can't do that. You don't pay your tax, the town will put a lien on your property. If your property is mortgaged, then the bank comes after you. I haven't yet paid my tax to the town for the properties I own there, and some of my family members haven't either. And I've heard it said and done in the past, to show a concern and my disgruntledness of the way my tax dollars are being handled and the return I'm getting, I'm willing to pay my taxes this year, and I hope others support me, but I'm willing to pay my taxes under protest. I will even go to the extreme of hiring an attorney personally to come up with a letter that is totally legal, and it would be a legal document that would be presented to the town showing that even though people aren't here tonight expressing their concerns, we are going to pay our tax, but we are going to pay it under protest because we expect a little bit more in return than, and Tammy Jo, no offense to you personally, but sympathies and sorry, there's nothing we can do. I wish I could pay my tax dollars with sympathetic expressions and sympathetic feelings, but I can't. And that's why I think, again, speaking for the rest of the people on Logan Circle, all we're asking from you, whether it's legal or not, is a little bit of compassion and not just throw the baby out with the bathwater. And I'm really tired of getting arrogant responses from questions such as, 2 years ago when we built my son's house on Logan Circle, we built it through the winter. There was a question of that road being plowed in the event, and this is the question I posed to one of the, I won't say who the, it wasn't, I won't say if it was a selectman or whomever, but it was a town official. I said, if I'm working on my son's house this winter, the roads aren't plowed and I have a heart attack, what happens? They looked at me and said, you're going to die. I didn't appreciate that. I think for the tax dollars I pay, I could well afford to own my own private service that in the event I had a heart attack, they would rescue me and take me to a facility to treat me. But to get an answer such as that, I think is outrageous arrogance. And to sit here
Mr.
tonight
Chairman, I don't know
hopefully...
where Roger's going with this, but it's
Where
completely...
am I going, Dennis? I'm just...
I mean, if you want to take shots at what we're saying, and if you think that we all sit here without any compassion and understanding and at least willingness to work, you've been at a different meeting than the rest of us here tonight.
I just... The bottom line, Dennis, is we want to see something a little bit more than compassion and for our tax dollars. And I guess the rest that I have to talk about, I'll wait.
I think that you probably adequately conveyed that message, as everyone else has indicated that they would like to see more from that. I think anybody would like to see more from their tax dollar.
Except they don't want to pay anymore. You know, everybody wants more, but they don't want to pay anymore.
Zero. No, don't.
You know, that really is an issue that we deal with every day, and that is to give services, in as many services as we can to the citizens of this town, and do it without charging them, and as they say, out of their houses. So it is a balancing act every single day as to how much services can we provide, and at the same time, not tax people to the point that they scream at us from that end. So it's a balancing act.
How about one service? Just one. How about one service?
How
How about servicing us with one service? No, we're not asking for many, just one.
Yeah. I mean, I have the same situation with my driveway. I live on a hill, lovely hill. My driveway washes out with water that comes down the road. And so I say, okay, but I fix it.
If you would, sir, I don't want to discourage anyone from speaking at a public meeting, but I would ask that you step to the podium and identify yourself so that we don't get into a one-on-one debate, that we keep this as an open discussion.
Again, it's Dan Hurley. I just want to thank you very much for your time and consideration. I do appreciate it. I do feel that you really do emphasize with us, and I understand your position. So thank you very much for your time, and I'm heading home. Good night.
Thank you, Dan.
I would like to see a follow-up, that we will have a meeting and try to get the proper officials here, DEP or the representatives, soil conservation, whatever, and let these people know.
I would be willing to work with the folks on Logan Circle. I have, because of some of my conservation connections and whatnot, I might be able to help facilitate some of that.
You had a comment that you wanted to say, or was that it?
No, I did want to just kind of talk about kind of what you get for your tax. You say it's $150,000 that's being collected in Logan Circle. I think if you take a look at that amount, how much of that is actually coming to the town of Waterboro and how much of that is actually going to the school. Because of your tax bill, 78% of what you're paying is funding RSU 57. It's not money that we're getting here at the town. So really, when you get your tax bill, it's like 15 cents, 14 or 15 cents of every dollar is what's coming into the municipality. And those funds are paying for the transfer station, which is something that folks are using. You all need a place to dump your trash. It's going towards having the town hall open, so if you need a place to come in and register your car, you want to get a building permit and come in and see our CEO, you have the ability to do that. If you want to utilize the Parks and Recreation Services, which a lot of our senior citizens do, you have the ability to do that. We have law enforcement in this town, which is being paid for by that 16 cents being collected out of those tax dollars. The fire department is being funded. Our rescue is being funded. So there are services that you're getting for your money that you're paying into your tax bill every year. You know, maybe you're not having the benefit of having your specific road plowed or graded, but I bet the other roads that you're using in town to access getting out of town, such as the Weber Road and whatnot, that's money that you're paying is going towards that as well. So, you know, I understand your frustration, Roger. There's a frustration here for us too. And, you know, you and I have talked quite a bit over the years, and I know we don't always see eye to eye. And, you know, I think when there's something that you feel that you really need from the town, and the town is sitting here and saying no, I think that it puts you in a place where, you know, momentarily you're unhappy with the town. And I understand that, and I respect that. But I think that there also needs to be some respect for the fact that that $150,000, not very much of that is actually going to the town of Waterboro.
Move on.
Okay, is there anyone else?
We called for sand one time, my wife, and in 2 days we had sand on Logan Circle. But who paid for that time that this truck went by? Did that come out of the town budget?
If it was a town sanding
Oh,
truck,
that's a courtesy.
if it came from a town contracted sander, then it was the town's sand that came onto that road.
Yeah, good. We appreciated that at that time. It was all glare ice over there, so we appreciated that. Thank you.
I don't think the town was ever billed for that.
All right.
Don't bring it up.
Okay, is there any other discussion here? If not, we will move on. We are fortunate, not that we were unfortunate to have people from Logan Circle, but we're fortunate to have with us this evening a young gentleman by the name of Travis Walton, and I hope I got that correct.
Thanks for hearing us out.
That is working for his Eagle Scout status in the Boy Scouts of America. Travis, if you wouldn't mind just stepping up so that people at home have the opportunity to see you and come in here. It looks as though you have some significant achievements already by the looks of your uniform. And Mr. Woodson has indicated to us that you have spoken with him regarding some potential projects that you may need in order to complete the qualifications for the Eagle Scout. If you'd let us know what you have in mind, we'll certainly like to discuss it.
Well, to get my Eagle Scout, I have to do a project that could benefit the town or community. So it's projects that you guys have for me to do. So anything like projects that you have that need to be done.
Okay, what types of projects
A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
can you do? I mean,
There's like height. We do almost anything. There's like some restrictions as to what we can do, like power tools.
well, that's kind of what I was.
Yeah, and then-
yeah.
We have hand saws and stuff like that, so like in the past, Boy Scouts have done parks and playgrounds and benches and like shelves for library books, so stuff like that.
Did you have any ideas when you're coming forward, or are you allowing that decision to rest with the board?
I was allowing that with you guys. And
But what would you like to do?
what do you have?
Hello,
I have a couple of ideas.
that's how the pavilion was built down to Friendship Park, was by somebody getting there, earning their Eagle Scout.
One thing I was thinking of is a sign that would communicate activities going on in the town, but over by the Taylor House, okay? I don't know if you saw the sign that Colin made for the church in West Baldwin, Colin Hubbard?
I saw it, yes.
Yeah, okay, something like that. And another thing was, I've seen in towns that I really like, is a mounded-up, good-sized flower garden that has all different types of flowers and very colorful, which I think in different spots in the town would look very nice, beautify the town. Those are just two ideas that I had, but I'm sure other people have other ideas.
Yes, I have an idea here.
One of my pet peeves is ever since the trees were cleared over here at Town Hall, you pull into the building, you pull into the parking here at Town Hall, it's supposed to be the center of our community, and it looks horrendous. And to me, I would love to see some kind of a beautification project so that when people pull into our Town Hall and they're looking at the frontage right here, they see something that's attractive and something that our community can be proud of.
This, in this project of yours, this is and I've seen some Eagle Scout projects. Part of that is the organization of other people working, right? I mean, it's not you just
It's not
going
me
out
doing
and
the work.
working.
It's-
You can organize other people into a
Yeah.
project.
It's-
So something like what she gave you, you're not just out there pulling stumps or whatever, but if you can organize people
Yeah.
to do that, you come up with a plan, come to us with a plan.
Yes.
And say, okay, I've got 2 work days with 20 people working. That's your project, basically?
Yeah, I need a project to do, and then I have to get specific details about it and like make a report. So, because it has to get approved, so it'll count for my Eagle. So I make a report with the project, and I show what needs to be done, and all the supplies and materials, and who's donating the money and stuff. So then I put that all down on paper, and I send that in, and then if they approve it, then I can do the project.
One of the things that David said as far as flower gardens and stuff like that, I mean, you could do out back here, you could clear a place, part of it is all cleared now, but digging it up and making a nice flower garden with perennials in there. Now, you set that and get it going. We have a flower, there's a committee in town, right?
There's a flower club, garden club.
The flower, yeah, the garden club. And the garden club could be maintaining it over the years, but if you got that thing set up and got it
That would be,
ready.
yeah, that would be something the project would need to do.
Yep,
And, we have staff that goes outside and eats lunch, so maybe, a nice covered area for staff to sit and have their lunch, or people that come in and visit the town. Maybe they're here to see the town planner, but he's gonna be 15 minutes, and they'd like, it's a nice day, they'd like a place to sit outside.
yeah, yeah.
You could almost do that on the front of the property here, in the kind of what grove of trees are left, right, is to put some sort of a sitting area
benches.
with maps of the town, or whatever the case may be, that would be in a display.
We also had a quote on clearing out, all around out here. One of the things is where the driveway was to the trail, is to continue that, and then we'll get the silver bullet on the other side, out of the parking lot, and then to clean up all around here to make it, and that would
I have a
work.
proposal that I haven't presented to the board yet. has
And that
mapped
that
out.
could work in with your project.
Okay.
How about
Town hall needs a new roof.
the other aspect of working this out here, if you've got the silver bullet, is certainly something that would at least camouflage the silver bullet to, I know that some communities put fences up and whatnot, but the silver bullet's behind a fence, but at least when you're driving by, or as we've seen with some of the towns, they've actually painted the silver bullets different with different art too, so.
Not
there's a whole-
graffiti, but art.
Yeah, art, not.
Well, Pete had looked at it, and it is hard in the wintertime trying to plow this. And it's hard when they come and try to pull it out.
Yeah.
We have people come with boats, and this way, if that's moved off, they can come in
Make the
and go to
circle.
either side, and then Dean can grab it and go around with it, and then just drop it. You don't have to.
The plan we have is to have another, either an exit or entrance, however you want to call it, to the town hall parking lot area.
So I think, in a sense, beautification of around that parking lot, is, you can come up with some ideas and make this,
What sort of a time frame are you,
I am 16, so I have 2 years, but I want to get it done soon. That's my plan. And like, if you can come up with a set project and, like, we can't do it all now, because you'll need to show me what needs to be done so I can take notes. So, like, more specifics than, like, make a flower garden, but like you said, out back and a staff area.
Well, I think that, part of the Eagle Scout project is you designing it. So maybe if we're saying this is an area we
input.
see could use some beautification, what if you came back to us and said, take a look out there, and you came back to us with some ideas?
Okay.
so just what I'd like to do. And make a presentation to us.
what is your time frame as far as being able to, say, come back in daylight and taking a tour out?
Weekends free. I have school from 6 in the morning all the way till like 6 at night, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays I get out at school at 1:45, or yeah. And so anytime after that. So do you want to make a date that I could come so you can show me
Yeah.
what areas?
You said Fridays at 1:45?
Yeah.
Like 2 o'clock? I can't be there, but is someone else that could be?
I can be there.
Okay.
I think that Dennis's schedule's flexible. I don't know if he can be there, if he's gonna, unless he's gonna be in Scarborough, or I don't know where he's gonna be, but I can be around.
I can be around. Are you talking this Friday at,
Can you do it this Friday?
1:45?
No, I get out of school at 1:45, so
2
like
o'clock?
maybe,
2:15?
yeah, 2:15, 2:30.
Why don't we make it 2:30, just
Yeah,
Yeah.
2:30.
2:30 on Friday?
Yeah. And it'd be here at the town hall you want
Yeah,
improved?
right here at the town hall.
All right.
Now, do you drive yet, or do you have to rely on someone
I
else
have
for transportation?
Not gone, I haven't sent out for my date, but I can get here. My mom can drive me.
Okay, so transportation's not an issue for you?
No.
Okay.
Thank goodness for moms.
So that is Friday, the 16th, 2:30.
2:30.
All right.
All right. That's all I have.
Now, do you have maybe leave his telephone number or something that we
Yeah.
could?
Rather than giving that out to
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
over the air, why don't you just tell us what it is on a slip of paper or something, and then you can just hand it to us that way.
All right, hold on.
Yeah, he's back at a sticky note he can use.
Check with that table.
That way you won't be the recipient of any unwanted calls. Although
Not
they
saying we won't put it on the website, no, just kidding.
I was kind of wondering how many scouts it would take with shovels to grade Logan Circle.
Well, I was thinking of...
You thought of that one too, huh?
Yeah.
If you can get probably 600 scouts down there with some rakes.
Yeah, with heavy-duty rakes. could have a camporee down at Fay.
Jamboree, yeah. Okay, very good. Okay, you want to post that on the web now?
Already got it.
You already got it, okay. All right. You have anything else, Travis?
No, thank you for having me. And
We certainly wish you the best of
project.
luck. We're glad to see that you're pursuing this. There's some very high ideals that the Boy Scouts, have traditionally across the country, and know that this is a lot of hard work and, dedication that it takes to reach the Eagle Scout level. And, a lot of great people in history have also been Eagle Scouts. So it's certainly a very worthwhile endeavor, and we wish you the best of luck.
thank you. Is that all for me?
Great. See you Friday.
Okay, we'll accept a motion to accept the warrant for bills and payroll.
So moved. Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the warrants for bills and payroll. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried. I'll accept a motion to accept the minutes of September 6, 2011.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the minutes of September 6, 2011. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried. And I will not forget this week. Here are our reminders. Wednesday, September 14th, at 6 p.m., the Road Review Committee will be meeting at Town Hall. On Thursday, September 15th, at 6:30 p.m., the Garden Club will meet at Town Hall. On Monday, September 19th, at 6:30 p.m., the 12-town group will meet at the Town Hall. On Monday, September 19th, at 7 p.m., the Charter Review Commission will meet at Town Hall. And on Tuesday, September 20th, at 6 p.m., the Board of Selectmen will have their meeting at the Town Hall.
Can I
At
just
this
add,
ti- at-
whoop,
at
sorry, can I
this-
just add one thing? Next week, for the charter review, we got a reminder from Ken Cole, our attorney, is we'll have to put it on the agenda. I think Christina's going to put it on next week. The selectmen's going to have to vote to extend it, because if not, then in November, the charter commission disappears.
Okay.
So he wanted to remind us to make sure, no, you have to do it at a certain, he just wants to make sure that it was done before November.
I thought we already did and voted, the discussion was to continue it so that the timing of the vote would be with the presidential election.
Yeah, but you have to vote to continue with the charter commission.
It's a quick job.
Yeah, to extend it, I should say.
Okay, the chair would accept a motion to add to this evening's agenda a request for executive session under 1 MRSA, Section 405, Section 6D, having to do with labor negotiations.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to add an executive session regarding labor negotiations at the conclusion of this meeting. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried. We'll be adding that to the agenda. At this time, I would accept a motion to adjourn.
Wait a minute.
Gotta go in session.
Could we go
We
through
need to
agenda
go into-
items for next?
Oh, okay, yeah. All right. So we're gonna-
Because last week, and I believe the week before, I asked about putting discussing goal setting, and haven't seen it. I'm wondering what's going to happen. I mean, we're a quarter through the year. If people don't want to do it, But I
Didn't
think
they-
even though sometimes we don't meet all the goals, it's very important to look ahead.
Didn't I see something in last week's minutes on it? Oh, okay.
How's everyone look for September 21st? Huh?
Out of town.
Out of town on that Wednesday?
I'll leave that Wednesday, be back the following Thursday.
Okay.
Are you looking at the right one? September 23rd is a Friday.
Oh, I said the 21st.
Oh,
21st.
okay.
Yeah.
Can I borrow your hearing aid, John?
You can have the left one.
Maybe I should speak a little louder.
What time?
Well, no, we already have somebody that can't make
Oh.
it. Does anybody else have a date? Otherwise, it puts us into October. And it would have to be either the 5th or the 12th, because I'm gone the rest of the month. I'm going to my daughter's wedding in North Carolina, so,
You can skip that, can't you? You just need to send the check.
yeah. Either October 5th or October 12th, both Wednesday nights.
So when we do this, we really should finish it, you know, in one session. I don't know how long. Putting it off and trying to do it in three sessions, it doesn't work really.
No, I was just
I
saying
would
either
pref-
of those 2 days.
I would prefer the 12th, because Freiburg Fair is the previous week.
Okay. Is the 12th good for everyone else?
That's a busy week for me.
How about you? You gonna be
Good.
back?
Maybe.
What time?
I will.
What time is convenient for most of us?
Wednesday nights are, yeah, I'm okay, anytime.
How early can we do it? I mean,
5 to 9, that's 4 hours.
5 to
How
9,
about 4 o'clock? Can we go 4?
4.
4:30?
Okay, 4. Let's go 4 o'clock, 4 to 9, we'll go 5 hours.
Yeah, I was thinking 48.
Oh, okay, well, 4 days, we'll still do it.
Exactly.
Okay.
We'll let him sleep the
Because
extra hour.
you get the most work done from 7 to 8, you know?
All right. So we'll meet from 7 to 8. Why waste the other couple hours?
Okay, great.
All right, so we're gonna do it on the 12th at 4 o'clock.
And
Okay.
Nancy's moderating, correct?
Yes.
If there's no more work on agenda items, I would move that
Well,
we,
I guess a question. We are fast approaching the first quarter reviews.
yes.
Right.
First quarter ends in another 3 weeks here, so the Finance Committee recommended or requested that potentially the first quarterly review be done on the 13th of October, which would be their normal meeting night.
On what day?
13th.
Okay, so we're not doing it during our regular meeting?
I think,
And having
I
that
think
as our
given,
meeting?
I think given that we have probably longer than what time we could give during the regular meeting, that we ought to have a separate meeting that we go through it with the department heads.
Yeah.
I just, if we try to ram it into a regular meeting, then it's not gonna be done. And I think we need to set the tone now to where we are.
Yeah, I don't think there should be any other.
Just offering that up as a 13th. We by now policy, it has to be done by the 15th of October.
Yep.
Okay?
13th, at what time? 6?
Whatever time we decide.
Oh, I thought it was their regular
Well,
finance committee meeting.
They know that they're gonna be invited to attend, so they're just saying.
Oh, that's not their regular meeting night.
That is their regular meeting night, but
Oh.
they would
Take
prefer
an hour
to
early.
participating in that review.
Oh, okay. So what time do they normally meet?
7. But I
Let's do
think we
6.
started at 6.
Yeah, I think we,
Gives us a
I think we'd like to
couple
start
of
at
hours
6.
to get through it.
Yeah. So 6 o'clock on the October 13th.
That way all
Meet
the
with the fin-
department heads should know that they've got until, well, I would hope that they would go over it with Nancy before we see it, but that's,
I also need that form, yeah, that you would come up with, the spreadsheet one.
yeah,
I didn't get that one. I get the,
it's all on the drive,
it's out on the,
on the selectmen's folder.
oh, okay. Out on the private one?
Yep.
Okay.
Can I also recommend here for brevity and that our administrator present the budget with the aid of the treasurer and have the department heads here for questions, not to present their own budgets.
It's fine, but the budget has to be formulated on that form,
Yep,
okay?
yep,
Each
exactly.
department.
But I'd like to see the budget presented first, and then if we have particular questions about specific parts of it, that we direct it to
I
them.
guess I would suggest that we leave that up to the town administrator of how her and the department heads and the treasurer want to present to the board.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about getting superfluous information. I'd like to be able to direct the information we want.
Yep. The other question I have is where do we stand with the requested road change? We were going to reconvene a workshop with,
What's the date? 27th.
so it's the 27th.
Of September?
And that's a Thursday, I'm sorry, September. I move, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
Great.
it's the Ross Corner hearing,
The 27th.
27th.
I'm set.
Okay. So I guess we don't close the meeting, we go into executive session. All right. It's been added to the agenda for an executive session. I would accept the motion at this time to go into executive session pursuant to Title I, Maine Revised Statutes Annotated, Section 405, 6D, Labor Negotiations.
I would make the motion, we go into that executive session in 5 minutes to give staff time to clean up and us to sign and then go into session.
I have no issue with that. Is that your motion?
Yep.
Second.
The motion's been made and seconded to go into executive session in 5 minutes' time, giving the administrative executive assistant time to vacate the premises. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried.